Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this new figure unboxing and review we're going to be looking at the War for Cybertron Generation Selects Tricranius Beast Power Pack. So what we're going to do with this video, we're going to unbox him live in a second, have a look at the entire contents of the packaging. We're then going to have a detailed look at him in both and indeed all of his powered up modes, because he is a fossilizer, to see which way you want to display him. We can then have a quick look at how he compares with the original use of the mold, which was this guy. Because I'm reviewing this after this figure's been released, we could then have a look at how he compares with the newer version of how they've used his mold, and we can also see how he displays and looks with some of the other completely crazy, and indeed just they really have won me over, crazy color schemes, crazy ideas, fossilizers, and see how they all display and look together. So as you can see, quite a bit to get through with this today, and as I'm taking these back, I'd like to remind anybody who's not subscribed to this channel, if they'd like to hit that subscribe button for me now please, because it really will help me out. So okay, this was originally previewed, or I suppose revealed, at the Hasbro Pulse Fan Fest in 2021, and it was something at the time I'm completely honest with, I wasn't really interested in. I wasn't really interested in the fossilizers at all. There's great artwork on these boxes. It's about time they did. Well, they do now. As I was saying, when I used to do the Generation Selects reviews, they were just a really bland box, but at least this has got a bit more effort put into it. But yeah, as I was saying, I had no real interest in these, and then I don't really know what it was. I think it was this particular figure that made me think, do you know what, these aren't too bad. I do really like that, and Transmutate pretty much did that for me, completely turned my opinion on it. And then this figure, even though it was, I think, back in April of 2022, Hasbro did their crazy 40% off sale, and I thought for that price I couldn't miss out. So I've been sitting on this for ages, and look at that. I've completely, do you know what, didn't know about this, or indeed forgot about it, because I wasn't interested at all. That is some lovely artwork. Again, as you'd expect things to be nice and special with the Generation Selects box. I'm going to keep that up. Hopefully the reflection isn't too bad. The other thing for this is a huge pack of blast effects. I think it's got 18 or 19, whatever it is, inside this little box. So I suppose it was like a little bit of a bonus. And let's have a look at them all. So they are just blast effects. Whether or not I will actually use them, I don't know. There's some crazy colours going on here. So these are just redecos of ones like Jetfire, Mega Supreme, Blowpipe, Caliburst, and all that sort of stuff. It's just all of them, all in a huge bag. For now, to be fair, in fact, no, I'll put them there, and I'll probably use some of them in a second. But there he is, and the spiel, or I suppose the write-up of him is like a lava decoed version, of course, of Ractonite, who was the original use of this particular mold. And as you can see, it's not going to hold there, and because this is an older figure, it's still got the plastic tie wraps. So what I need to do now then is set him free from there and come straight back to you. So here he is. As you can see, I've set him free from his packaging, and we're going to do some first impressions in a second, but now I've completely set him free, let's have a quick look again at this beautiful box. So we've got the artwork there at the front, which is fantastic. We've then got the logo on the base there, and that was just a real nice surprise, to be honest, opening it up and seeing that. So what we're going to do now, we're going to do some first impressions. I'm just showing you this little box as well, which again has got quite a bit of detail, which again looks great. And let's actually have a look at the figure then. So really impressed with this. The plastic, is it translucent or is it just red? It's a bit of a mixture. It's not all clear plastic, so it's nothing too much to worry about, if you know what I mean. Usually I do articulation, but because it's a fossilizer, I'm just going to briefly run over it. The head has got full articulation all the way around, looking up and down. The shoulders will go all the way around. So what I mean by a fossilizer, if this is a new to you or a new concept, these pieces actually do come off. I'm going to show you in a second just how many pieces there are, but because it's a fossilizer, it's also what's known as a parts former, and it basically means exactly that. You can pull all these pieces off, so the articulation and the posability in a lot of the cases is pretty much endless. Bicep flexion, wrist swivels, shoulder swivels, waist swivels, hips side front, round to the side, knee bend, ankle tilt, ankle rock. Absolutely, as I say, everything that you would expect from a new figure anyway, but with this one even more so, because again you can pull it all to pieces. So what I'm going to do now, this is I suppose a little bit of a bonus thing, again for people who aren't buying this brand new. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come back, I'm going to pull him apart to every single piece that I can break him down to, and the main reason for that is just in case again you're buying this guy in the secondary market, you want to make sure that you've got all the pieces to him. So let's have a quick look at that right now. Okay then, so this is going to be a lot more useful for people who are buying this on the secondary market and they want to make sure that they're getting all of the pieces in the package. You may be interested as well just to see how many pieces it does break down to. So we've got, I suppose, the main torso and the head, which is all one piece, which as you can see does in fact fold out as well. You've then got the rest of the vertebrae, which again does fold out with its two accessories. You've then got two smaller legs with again two fold out 5mm tabs. You've got two larger legs with again some tabs at the top either side. You've then got, this is the main, I suppose, crotch and waist area. You've then got the actual tail. You've then got the dinosaur Triceratops head, and please be aware that all of the horns, the two large and the small, do actually come away, so there's quite a few parts if you're looking to get the extra pieces as well. Blast effects, we've got 1, 2 I suppose turquoise of them. We've got this large pieces here, these I think were the Jetfire ones. There's 4 of them, so we're up to 6 already. Then there's these 2 large ones and I suppose 2 smaller ones, so there's 4 of them as well. Then we've got all the little pieces, so we've got the red, the long blue and thin blue, and indeed another blue, so there's another 5. And then what we've got finally is just these 4. Again, apologies, this is just again to help people who may be wondering what exactly the whole contents of the package is, but there you go, that's the entire lot. We're going to come back now, continue with the review. He's going to be in his alternate mode and we can see how that looks. Okay then, we're back, and as you can see he's in his alternate mode. Quick apologies for no transformation process on this video. Couple of reasons. One is to keep the main length of the video down, and 2 is not to spoil it for anybody who is intending to get this figure for themselves and doesn't want it spoiling. However, it will be separately uploaded on its own video if you do want to see it. And the alternate mode, again, you know, it's quite impressive, to be honest. I think the color scheme on this just really works. It is, of course, I suppose, a Triceratops's skeleton, and again with the lava effects and the lava color, it's just something that's so completely out of there. It just works. It's just one of them crazy things. I'm just turning the head around again, that's it. And that's better, it fits in more securely. It's just something out so crazily out there that you just wouldn't think would work, but it really does. Why is that not covered up? That's better. It's just mental. It really is mental. There's obviously loads of articulation. You've got the mouth, which will open, the neck will turn around. Again, you've got full articulation at the tops of the legs, in the knees. These will bend out. Same at the back. You can see that it's pretty much, as I say, because it's a parts former, because you can piece it all together, it's nuts. It's really nuts. You've got the lovely little insignia there as well, or the logo, shall we say. And again, if you wanted to, you know, with some of the blast effects, you can combine, build all these up and have a bit of fun with these as well. There's some 5mm ports on him, so if you wanted to, you can have a little blast effect that he's got shot or something like that. Or indeed, again, because he's a parts former, because he's got these holes, you can indeed attach and start to put loads of other things on him as well. So again, I suppose I've just got cog here at the moment, so we can just pop, if we wanted to, some weapons there. And then again, you can then attach the blast effects to the very end as well if you wanted to, because you can. You've got the sizes, you've got all of these. He said, has that got, no, typically I just picked one up which didn't have them on, so you could pop these on and power up your dino however you wanted to in loads of different ways. Again, they've made this exactly what it should be. It is fun, it is a fun figure. The possibilities of it, I won't say it endless, but they really are complete. There's so many you can do. There's so many brilliant videos and different things online. I've seen where incredibly clever people have combined and used loads of these to make up loads of different I suppose combat and attack options. Even in instructions, we've got 3 which I'm going to be showing you in detail in a second. So we've got there where we're going to be using him as a hammer. We've got there where he's going to be fully armored and parts formed up, and again we've got another different mode there. I'm going to be showing you all of these on this video just to give you some ideas, and again hopefully I suppose justify or prove to you, or maybe even the honesty, the reason what made me change my mind, I suppose, just how much fun they are with the things that you can do. So we're going to come back first and foremost with him back in his robot mode and do some comparisons before we then do some combining. Right then, so we're back with him in his robot mode so we can do some comparisons and see how he displays as well with some uses of the same mold. So we're going to look at first and foremost the original owner of the mold, which was of course Ractonite, and I believe his alternate mode was a Styracosaurus. You can see straight away the similarities. You've got just the different dinosaur heads, and again the cool thing about this was it was up to you how you wanted to display. There's no reason why you couldn't just take this off here and of course do this the same with any of the figures. To be honest, any of them I was going to say the ones we've got there, but you can see there straight away that doesn't look bad either. In fact, it's just a different way to display him. So he was one of the original, and then I suppose the more recent one up to date is of course Master Dominus. I think I've got his name right. You can see the similarities though in the rib cages, but of course the main difference is the dinosaurs' heads, and they all look really good together, to be fair. And then they've gone even crazier with the color schemes. I'm hopefully going to be able to fit, I'm not too sure with these. Again, they can be quite hard to balance, especially because there's so many different limbs that you can move around on them. But if I just move them in a little bit, this was another one of the newer, more most recent fossilizers. This was of course Spindle, and then here was one of the other ones, another generation select, which was of course Transmutate. And again, as I'm sure you can see and will concur, they just use the most garish, borderline generation 2, borderline very early 1990s crazy color schemes, and for whatever reason it is, they just work. It's just a ridiculous concept, great idea, sometimes quite hard to remember names to pronounce, etc., but they just really work with them. And as I say, it's something that has completely won me over, and hopefully now I'm going to be able to show you why it has. So what I'm going to do, we're going to come back and I'm going to have broken him down into pieces, and yeah, just show you what you can do with these, and indeed why I now think that they are so much fun. Okay then, so this is one of the examples we've got inside the instructions, and this again is quite cool. What I've done is I've got Road Ranger because I think his colour scheme is going to go much better with what we are dealing with here. I think it's Huffer in the instructions, but what you've got a choice of there, we've obviously made like a lance or a spear or whatever. The good thing is you can either attach this to the side of his forearm if you wanted to there via that hole, or as you can see, you can actually put it in his hand. You can also keep his standard accessories on as well. We've got like a giant club going on here, so hopefully this should counterbalance him, and I'm still going to keep his shield on as well. The only thing is, of course, let's be honest with the weights, they are ginormous. So let's see if we can counterbalance everything. That's so cool. Look at it. Look at how ridiculous it is. It just looks insane. It still totally works. You can then take his normal gun as well if you want. You can still pop his normal gun in, and to be honest, if you really wanted to, you could start attaching these bits here and there and everywhere if you also wanted to. Let's have a look at this. You've got the tabs there, and then if you put the blast effects on the inside of his leg, you could do the same thing on the other. But I think you get the idea. That's just one of the things that you can do with him. We've got 2 more to show you, and of course there's many more things that you can do using your imagination at the same time. Okay, here's another one, and honestly this one is quite difficult purely because it is giant, and what I'm going to try and do is just counterbalance myself by putting his normal gun in there. What we've got now is a giant hammer, and this again looks ridiculous, but it's fun, and hopefully it should. If I just tilt his, there we go, you can see that that again, funnily enough, does still work. It is crazy. The color scheme on these are just daft, and it's just brilliant. I love the way that it works with Road Ranger as well. So again, we've still got quite a few pieces here now. I'm pretty sure the final one I'm going to show you is going to in fact use them all, and again hopefully give you ideas of things that you can do with it for yourself. Okay then, so we are back for the final time, and I'm going to pretty much show you what I think is just one of the best ways to use this particular figure. It's pretty much using everything, and we'll see if we can make any adjustments to just even add more to it. So what we've got here is we've got the crotch section and the legs, and of course the spikes from the main I suppose head part. We've got this little lever at the back, and we're going to attach this into the back of the roof of, well, any figure, to be honest, or it doesn't even have to be the roof, it can be any figure that's got a 5mm port on the back. And we've got some crazy rocket launchers there, you can see. We've now got the torso all spread out. We've got a giant sword basically. I'm going to pop this in this particular hand and see how that goes. I should really have put these in before I did the video, so I know they'd slot straight in. With it being pretty much a brand new figure, sometimes they take a little bit of effort to get in. And again, the beauty of these is, let's be honest, if they all fall apart, it's quite simple to just build them together again. So while I reach around, that's better. That's going to go in there. That's going to go into that port there. He says, there we go. Straighten it all back up. There's my giant sword. Can I get him to balance just for now? That'll do just for now. Are you going to balance for me? No, let's bring this in just for 2 seconds. And then we've got, of course, the head, which can be used either as a shield, like so. Oh, he's completely falling apart now. That's the only problem. They do counterbalance them sometimes. They do get a bit too heavy, so we can put that there. You can pop it in his hands, but of course, by doing this, this enables you to then still hold on to his normal gun and his normal attachment, so we could still, if we wanted to, start to add more bits to it. So there's the giant sword. We've got the head, which we can use as, that's better, it's even balancing now, you'll see. So you can just add everything to it. It's nuts. It is absolutely nuts, the things that you can do with these. So with this as well, we can pretend that this is a gun. We can pop that there on the side of his shin and give him that mini effect as well, shall we say. And then even his shield on the other side, you know, whatever you want to do, he's just super powered up now. And of course, the possibilities, again, they're not endless, but there's just so many of them. You can have real fun with this. And not just this, imagine all of the options and all of the things that you can do by breaking down all of these into their individual pieces and then starting to build and combine them all the way up. It really is just loads and loads of fun. And as I say, that's the main reason why they've, I suppose, turned my head and my opinions changed. And I think another reason why I'm reviewing him now and not just putting him straight on the shelf, even though I brought him quite late, is, let's be honest, we're getting close to Christmas, we're getting close to Black Friday. If they do another sale like what they did at Easter time, he could be well worth picking up. Okay then, so just one little quick bonus mode that I've had a bit of a play with. I've pulled them all to pieces, which you can see there. I've given him some extra level legs, which I've used spindle and of course transmutate, and then I've just completely combined quite a few of the body parts. I'm struggling, in all honesty, to get him to balance, but this is just something that I've mocked together in a couple of minutes, and indeed, as I said, wanted to share with you and maybe give you a few ideas. And as I said in the previous segment, you might now have changed your mind and you might want to pick him up if he's on sale. Anyway, hope you enjoyed looking at him. Take care. Thanks for watching. Like and comment, and don't forget to subscribe.